Welcome to Global Hub Updates. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. In the heart of the South China Sea, as dawn breaks over restless waters, a silent tension crackles beneath the surface. Steel giants glide through the mist, each move watched, each signal measured. On this day, 6 Chinese warships close in around a solitary American destroyer. The world's most powerful navies now stand face to face, locked in a high-stakes standoff, where a single misstep could ignite a global crisis. This is not just a test of strength, it's a contest of nerves, strategy, and resolve. The eyes of the world are fixed on these waters, waiting to see who will blink first. China's account was swift and unequivocal. The USS Higgins, they claimed, had illegally entered waters near Scarborough Shoal, a flashpoint in the South China Sea, and was promptly driven away by Chinese warships. The incident was quickly broadcast across Chinese state media, emphasizing the rapid response and resolve of the People's Liberation Army Navy. Beijing's message was clear and forceful. China is in control, actively defending what it sees as its sovereign territory, and will not tolerate foreign incursions. Meanwhile, the US Navy told a very different story, one that directly contradicted China's version of events. The 7th Fleet confirmed that the USS Higgins was conducting a routine freedom of navigation operation, a mission designed to challenge what the US sees as excessive maritime claims. They firmly denied being forced out, insisting the Higgins operated in international waters as planned, without interference. 2 irreconcilable narratives emerged. China claims a successful expulsion, while the US maintains it was business as usual, a routine patrol in contested waters. In these tense encounters, perception often becomes reality, shaping how each side's actions are viewed at home and abroad. China wants to project dominance and control, reinforcing its claims. The US wants to demonstrate that international law, not Beijing's assertions, governs these waters, and that it will not back down. The truth is filtered through each nation's strategic goals and political needs, with both sides shaping the narrative to serve their interests. While both navies likely followed strict protocols to avoid escalation or accidental conflict, their public messaging tells a very different story, one of confrontation and resolve. China's drove-away narrative signals strength and unity, both at home and abroad, reinforcing its image as a regional power. The US denial, meanwhile, reassures allies like the Philippines that America stands firm and will continue to uphold freedom of navigation in the region. The incident itself may have lasted only a few hours, but the battle over its meaning and the narratives that follow is just beginning and could last much longer. In the South China Sea, every encounter is a contest of stories as much as ships, a struggle for influence, legitimacy, and control. The stakes are as much about perception and narrative as they are about the physical reality on the water, with each side determined to shape how the world sees the conflict. Why do these waters matter so much? The South China Sea is a global artery. 1/3 of all shipping passes through, carrying trillions in trade. Disruption here would send shockwaves through the world economy. Beneath the waves lie vast reserves of oil, gas, and rich fisheries, resources vital to regional nations. For China, control means security and power projection. For the US and its allies, it's about upholding international law and free navigation. The sea is a test case for global order. Will disputes be settled by law or by force? The answer will shape the future of international relations. At the heart of the standoff is a clash of principles, a fundamental disagreement over the rules that should govern the world's busiest waters. The US conducts freedom of navigation operations, FONOPs, sailing warships near Chinese claimed features to challenge what it calls excessive claims, aiming to keep vital sea lanes open for all nations. Washington insists these are impartial demonstrations of international rights under the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, which sets the legal framework for maritime conduct. China, however, sees these maneuvers as provocations, violations of its sovereignty, and direct threats to its national security and territorial integrity. The legal backdrop is complex. A 2016 international tribunal rejected China's sweeping claims, ruling in favor of the Philippines, but Beijing dismissed the decision as illegitimate and irrelevant. The US and its allies operate based on the tribunal's decision, asserting freedom of navigation. China, meanwhile, ignores it and continues to build up its presence. Each FONOP forces a Chinese response, shadowing, issuing radio warnings and sometimes harassing U.S. ships, escalating tensions with every encounter. These encounters are risky, with both sides asserting their vision of order and refusing to back down, increasing the chance of miscalculation. The result is a recurring high-stakes confrontation between two worldviews, played out by warships in close quarters, where a single mistake could spark a crisis. Every patrol is a test of resolve and restraint, as sailors and commanders weigh each move with global consequences in mind. The legal and political stakes are enormous, shaping not just regional security but the future of international law and order. The world watches anxiously, hoping neither side miscalculates or lets tensions spiral out of control. The next move could change everything, altering the balance of power in the region and perhaps the world. The South China Sea is now one of the world's most militarized maritime zones. China's navy has exploded in size, boasting modern warships, submarines, and a vast coast guard and maritime militia. These forces patrol aggressively, asserting Beijing's claims. The U.S. has responded with a constant naval presence, carrier groups, destroyers, and joint exercises with allies like Japan, Australia, and the UK. The result, a crowded, complex environment where warships, Coast Guard vessels, and even fishing boats jostle for position. Beijing uses both overt military power and subtle intimidation through its maritime militia. U.S. commanders must distinguish between civilian, paramilitary, and military threats, often in close quarters. The sea is bristling with advanced weaponry, sensors, and surveillance. Every encounter is a potential flashpoint in a high-stakes chess game. The South China Sea is no longer just a trade route. It's a battleground for global power. When rival warships operate side by side, the greatest risk isn't always deliberate conflict. It's a mistake. A navigational error or misread signal could trigger a crisis. Both navies are professional, but the margin for error is razor thin. A collision could spark outrage, retaliation, and a dangerous cycle of escalation. Protocols like the Code for Unplanned Encounters at Sea exist, but only work if trust and communication hold. Rising tensions and propaganda can erode that trust. The world's stability depends on these navies managing their encounters without disaster. In these waters, a single misstep could have global consequences. Scarborough Shoal isn't just a dot on the map, it's vital to the Philippines. Once a traditional fishing ground, it's now under Chinese control, with Filipino fishermen often blocked from its waters. The Philippines, a U.S. treaty ally, sits at the center of this rivalry. The U.S. has pledged to defend Philippine forces in the South China Sea, raising the stakes of any confrontation. For Washington, access to Philippine bases is crucial for regional power projection. For Beijing, a friendly Philippines would help break the first island chain encircling China. Manila must balance defending its rights with avoiding superpower conflict. The USS Higgins incident is watched closely in Manila, seen as both reassurance and a warning. The Philippines wants support but fears becoming a battleground. Scarborough Shoal is a daily reminder of the risks of great power competition. The South China Sea conflict isn't just about ships, it's a battle for public opinion. China's state media hails its navy as a defender of national honor, fueling domestic nationalism and projecting inevitability abroad. The message, resistance is futile, and prosperity lies with China. The U.S. counters with talk of international law and a free and open Indo-Pacific, rallying allies and exposing China's assertiveness. Each side crafts its story for maximum impact, shaping perceptions at home and abroad. The result? Two parallel realities, each reinforcing mistrust. For the average person, the truth is hard to find amid the propaganda. This information war makes diplomatic solutions harder. The battle of narratives is as fierce as the one at sea. The standoff near Scarborough Shoal is more than a naval incident. It's a symbol of the US-China contest for global influence. This remote reef is now a stage for competing ambitions and a test of the international order. The risk of escalation is real. A single mistake could ignite a crisis with global consequences. The world watches because the principles at stake, freedom of navigation, rule of law, are the foundation of global stability. If these are eroded here, they're weakened everywhere. The standoff is a test of resolve, diplomacy, and the world's commitment to rules over might. The events around the USS Higgins are a sobering reminder. Peace is fragile. The South China Sea will remain a flashpoint for years to come. Avoiding conflict will require restraint, communication, and renewed diplomacy. The stakes couldn't be higher. The world is watching and hoping for peace.